How's it going, everyone? Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. I am at some point here going to be getting back to reviewing some relatively serious films. I have a little bit of a backlog of Indonesian horror that I definitely want to get caught up on. I'm excited for that. You can look for those reviews soon. In the meantime, it's been a long day, so I'm just kicking back with another brainless movie. This time it's 1991's Future Kick with Dawn the Dragon Wilson. Ooh boy. And it's directed by Damien Klaus. Because it's only about a 70-minute movie by what TUBI indicates, I think that I will probably not do a separate review. I'll just briefly summarize my thoughts at the end of the video after the reaction. But first things first, of course, here comes that. Watch and enjoy, and stick around if you want to see my thoughts afterwards. Dawn the Dragon Wilson, I've pretty much almost forgotten about him, so this should be interesting with older eyes. Here we go. World Kickboxing Association World Light Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, he was certainly a somebody in his day. Oh, good old Meg Foster. And Chris Penn is in the house. Rest in peace, friend. Could this score and intro be any more Terminator derivative? Yikes. Not uptight. I wear my sunglasses at night. Okay, to be fair, if you're a Cyberon, I suppose sunglasses are a moot point. Go for it. This sort of Alexa-style device that they have in their little penthouse in this one, it's like a jack-o'-lantern shaped like a peanut or something. If by weird you mean Dollarama Blade Runner, then yeah, it's getting weird out here. As derivative as the whole production design is, it's honestly not like the worst of its kind I've ever seen. Rather convenient that dangerous people and seedy criminals are always connected to strip clubs in movies like this. An undercover cop could probably make his quota in like 48 hours working a place like this. Jeez, what's there, like 10 people in that bar? That must be why they lit it so dark in there. It has to be, because they couldn't afford many extras. If any. Yeah. Who are all these people hooping and hollering? I don't see them. There he is, Chris Penn. Laser blade. Okay, they were saving their extras budget for this scene. All 12 of them. What is this contest? Are they trying to hit each other with the bouncy, glowy, sparkly ball? Is this honestly that exciting, guys? What, you put your whole life on the line in a video game for $250,000? I wouldn't do that for anything less than $1 million. Right now, this is almost shot and feeling more like a slasher, if you want to know the truth. Meg Foster's always had those piercing eyes, man. They're amazing. No way, there is not 200 people ahead of her.
My husband, there are people in front of you.
Not that many. More than 100 murders a day. Well, that explains why there's almost no one around. Who names himself Roadkill? Jeez, man, I know I already said it, but honestly, like, those eyes, those blue eyes that Meg Foster's, like, they are so piercing, you could probably see them in a blackout. Oof. $1 million peepers. Okay, at this point, the strippers are working up more of a sweat than Dawn is. For a dragon, he sure likes to chill. Why do I feel like I recognize this actress? There is no reason to be cutting back to the stripper during this conversation whatsoever. If I turn out to be wrong about that, I'll take it back in a second. I'm always happy to be surprised, but yeah, no surprises there. And Meg Foster's actually really good in this. I mean, her story's sort of interesting enough that I almost wish that they were just kind of focusing on her. Like, forget Dawn the Cyberon. I want to see this gal's story play out. It almost feels like they took parts from a better B movie starring Meg Foster and just spliced in some fight scenes with Dawn. Another visit to a strip club? Seriously? For my own sake, I hope I didn't, like, recognize that actress from one of the joints I went to when I was 19. Is that guy the doorman or something? I hope not. Whoa. Okay, that genuinely surprised me. I knew he was gonna take him out. I mean, like, you know, there was no other reason for him to be such a useless creep, but decapitating him with the fire escape like that? No, I'm not even being ironic. I'll give somebody points for creativity there. I mean, you just killed for fun. I don't see why you're so apprehensive about doing it for a job. Isn't that kind of what you do for a living? You goof. You don't have to walk around with your cap on sideways like that. I mean, I know you're a quote-unquote bumbling police officer, but why don't you just talk like Goofy? Yep, there we go. Chris Penn doesn't tolerate goofs, that's for sure. Alright, way to go, Donnie. He's going through that pane glass window, isn't he? Someone is. Come on, don't tease me. Okay, I guess not. What is that, like a piece of lettuce glued to your shirt? That's supposed to be your robotic interior, really? Wow. The Cyberon project was named Project Cyberon. Subtle. Well, it had been a whole 5 minutes since we were inside a strip club. Yeah, how dare you come into his precinct station. His squad, all 3 of them are going to be really disappointed. Oh. Oh, when they made you, they gave you guys emotions. I guess they skipped that day with you there, Don. How is anyone supposed to be listening to this story when there's a guy in the background literally holding a neon sign, like a neon sandwich sign that says condoms for sale in big bright blue? Why would you play this game when you can literally just rip his heart out with that claw? Well, she went out like a boss, I'll give her that. All together now, time for another strip club. Unbelievable, man. More lettuce. Green goo. Down he goes. Oh, playing possum. Terminator vision. A lot of this graffiti is unintentionally hilarious. It's not even that the graffiti is particularly clever or funny. It's just that the cinematographer was dopey and lazy enough to let words like poo and suck me scrawled in ink on the side of a wall be sitting like center frame. Ho ho. Chris Penn just gave him a come at me bro, yeah. Yeah, shooting a scene like this with a lot of close-ups doesn't do it any favors. Meg is crushing Dawn's kill count in this, man. What? Whoa, that's a lot of strawberry jam and chocolate sauce. I mean, I was sort of waiting for that sort of token, it was only a dream, or was it thing, but I'm not getting that there the way it ended. I guess it was just only a dream. And listen, this is no slight to Don the Dragon Wilson as far as his accomplishments as a kickboxer go. I'm positive he's the real deal. But for the sheer lack of screen time he has and lack of dialogue, lack of even really effectiveness as a hero or an actor or even a character, I mean, this was essentially Meg Foster's story. And the fact that he is billed above her in the credits and it's his name blazoned on the poster, and there's a whole separate credit, Dawn the Dragon Wilson in big huge jumbo font at the very start of the movie. I mean, Jesus Christ, the balls. Holy hell. I'm not joking when I say that every stripper in this movie worked harder than he did, and there were a lot of them. Keep in mind that this is only about a 70-minute movie, and I would say about 30 of those 70 minutes were spent inside strip clubs. Whenever it was focusing on Meg Foster, I was really into it, and I sort of feel like if they had just stuck with that storyline and just done away with Donnie altogether, the movie would not have suffered. In fact, it would have been better for it. I can really see the seeds of a much better, much more fun B movie, if still a little bit derivative, somewhere in this movie, but it's like that was abandoned as soon as old Don the Dragon Wilson came on board. From then on, he was the man of the hour, literally, because this thing only is an hour, basically. Meg Foster was actually working hard in this movie, and her performance is really good, a lot better than the final product deserves. Okay, so I really don't have a whole heck of a lot to say about this one. It's a very cheap derivative mashup of Terminator and Blade Runner. Most of it looks like it was all shot on a soundstage. Again, I think that does account for the lack of lighting. Everything was just in a studio or on a stage, and they were using that lack of light to try and make up for the lack of production. I honestly do think that they blew all their budget on those strip club scenes. I mean, the more I think about it, just based on this and the kind of people that were probably involved in the making of a movie like this, that seems appropriate. Art imitating life, I'd say that's a safe bet. Don the Dragon Wilson was okay here. He seems like he's a decent martial artist, but it's hard to say because he really is not in very much of the movie. I mean, you get this big solo credit for Don the Dragon Wilson at the beginning of the movie, and then you barely see him, and when you do, he cannot perform or emote for shit. When you have Meg Foster, who has so much more story, so much more interesting story, and is just flat out a more interesting character and better performer than Don, the fact that he is, as I said before, billed above her so obnoxiously, it's, yeah, man, it's honestly a little bit insulting. Like, it's tacky as shit. There is the framework here for a somewhat interesting and entertaining Meg Foster-led B movie. But if that is what the original script resembled, it got squashed here to make plenty of room for Dawn. I know that sounds contradictory when I just spent a couple of minutes bitching about how he's in almost none of the movie despite being the star. But you can feel his influence and just even his involvement really undermining what probably was, when it was originally written, a decent little sci-fi script. When he does show up and do his thing, the fight scenes are all hack jobs. He gets the odd roundhouse kick in that's kind of okay. Other than that, there's nothing here that leaves an impression. He's a bad actor, and look, if we're being honest, Bruce Lee was not necessarily the best actor himself, but he had something. He had a certain presence that was cinematic. The dragon here, jeez, and that's the other thing, calling himself the dragon like Bruce Lee. The balls, oh my god. I don't think there was any interest here in making a good movie. I think he was only interested, this is just my opinion, okay? If you're out there watching Dawn, you know, and if you went into this with good intentions and sincere ambition, and if you ever meet me face to face and you want to tell me that, I will take it all back and shake your hand, man, okay? But just based on what I'm seeing here, this feels like a lazy vanity project that ended up capsizing what could have been a fun movie. That's all for this one, guys. Keep your eyes on the channel for more content coming your way soon, and I will catch you later.